The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
Yo, I'm looking at the comments in the lobby right now. This episode's about to get rowdy. Are a lot of you guys actually like full-time JT Miller haters? Bro, it's the Vancouver Canucks. It's our team. Close your eyes. Think about what happened a couple months ago. Yo, chill out. Let's talk about how JT Miller is the hero the Canucks need.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yo. What up? Or people, what is up? And what's going on? Can we chill out? It's another episode of Locked On Canucks. My name is Kyle Bowen. Trevor Beggs making a call down below. He'll be back in the lobby in no time. But man, oh man, I can't stop moving around because I thought today was going to be a lot of fun. Maybe it still will be, but I'm getting passionate right now. I'm getting riled up. I'm reading your comments, and I've been reading a lot of books, so it's hitting a little different right now. And some of you guys actually think JT Miller is toxic. Yo, I thought that was only that one fan in Montreal, right? Who made that decision? But apparently it's a lot of you guys, okay? JT Miller. Again, he's not toxic. He's the hero the Canucks need. And JT Miller, in his last handful of games, he's done a lot, okay? And also laboring through the same neck, shoulder, Papatias injury that we think he's dealing with. And I know we shouldn't be assuming and we shouldn't be speculating, but the guy's playing through a lot of pain. And I've been all over JT in recent history, right? Because I'm emotional. And only 31 and a half years old. But again, in recent history, he's showing signs that maybe I'm the idiot. Or in better words, I am the idiot. Because it wasn't that long ago, right? And Dan Jardine, he's talking about this too. Can we get to a comment? Dan Jardine, calling some of y'all fickle, man. You just got burned by Dan Jardine. He's saying that last year, JT was the Messiah. Now he's toxic. Maybe it's you, not him. And again, I guess what Dan Jardine is trying to say is maybe it's Kyle Bowen and not JT Miller. Again, Canucks fans, close your eyes. It wasn't that long ago where JT Miller was like a 100-point guy and scoring big goals in the playoffs against the Oilers. Putting a smile on your face, creating memories for you and you and you and you. Again, it wasn't that long ago. I know we're so quick with it now, and our attention spans are so small. In the year 2024. Oh, was it 2025? Oh shit. Okay, in the year 2025. But JT Miller was doing all of that again in 2024. And right now, in recent history, now, what does he have? 5 points in his last 2 games. He's jumping. Yes, jumping other individuals who are touching Quinn Hughes. Not scared of anyone. Not scared of Tom Wilson. He picks up 4 points in Montreal a couple days ago. Dude, how about that fight? Right? New Year's Eve. Putting his family on... Well, his family second, I guess. Because, yo, he's getting into an NHL fight on ice skates, on knives. While standing on knives, getting to a fist fight, okay, risking it all for you and you and you and you and you and you. But he's toxic, man. I'm telling you, he's kind of warming up, kind of, and also dealing with a lot too, dealing with a lot of injuries. Look at the Nashville tape, right? The game in which JT Miller, was taking in a lot of ridicule, accepting a lot of ridicule, okay. Based on some of his line changes in that Nashville game, okay? People are really looking at that and pointing at the fact that he may be a bad teammate. Yo, that's not him being a bad teammate. That's him being hurt. You don't see any players, even pissed off ones on national TV or on TV in general, giving up. JT wasn't giving up based on not giving an F about the Canucks. He was probably taking short shifts because he's really, really hurt. And that's why every time this guy gets hit or is touched or just, again, impacted in hockey, he seems to grimace. he seems to be in severe pain, and I don't know what Tylenol he's taking, but he's staying out there, and he's willing to fight through the pain right now to help this team try to figure out something in the positive department, especially in the standings. And right now, the Canucks have picked up 2 points in the last 2 games, due in large part to who? JT Miller. And 2 points don't sound like a lot, but it's a lot better than 0. Speaking of 2 being better than 0, Trevor Beggs, man, I hope you made that sale. For real, dude. On the phone, how you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic, man. You know, the Canucks have won 1 of the last 6 games, and I'm feeling great, baby. I'm feeling great. You know why I'm feeling great? Because JT Miller is playing good hockey again for the Vancouver Canucks. And, you know, I think there's a chance that, again, I said it last night on the show, but that the loss to the Washington Capitals last night perhaps was a turning point, both in terms of, you know, JT Miller and some guys standing up for Quinn Hughes, both in terms of the JT Miller we've seen over the past couple of games. And look, I know Elias Pettersson's got to get going. I know Quinn Hughes is the captain. You could say he's got to hype up the boys, but I do think JT Miller is the key to the Canucks this season. A healthy JT Miller, again, isn't just, you know, a wrecking ball out there and a good point producer, but he's also the emotional heartbeat of this hockey team, right? I do think that if you get a JT Miller coming fired up with that 2020 reading the lineup card energy for your Vancouver Canucks, if he's firing up the boys, if he's lighting a fire under Pettersson in a good way, I do think JT Miller is the emotional heartbeat of this team, and I believe he's the guy that can realistically save the Canucks season here.
Obviously, because he's JT Miller. He's that son of a gun, right? That American hero, JT Miller. Straight up, man, he's that guy. And I know he's been all over the place this year. Who knows where he's been? And there's been moments where it's like on the ice, he just seems bored, but there's like eight or other 9 guys like game in and game out looking bad too. It is what it is, right? We're just human at the end of the day. We're also just Canucks fans, and last time I checked, we got 42 games left. The second half is about to start, and Beggsy, I got to do it. I don't gotta think with my mind. I gotta think with my heart. This is the problem with the generation too, man. Hey, self-help, mental health. Use your mind. Take care of your mind. How about take care of your heart? How about that, Trevor? I'm not talking about jumping rope or going for a run. I'm talking about just being positive. There's still a lot of hockey left, and one of the best centers, okay, in hockey. Top 12, top 11 point getter in the last handful of years, league wide. I'm not even talking about centers now. JT Miller, that guy, 100 points last year. Yo, he can rebound. He can do it. He can follow Quinn Hughes' lead. And speaking of lead, he can lead right now by being that FU, not just in the room, you know, reading player cards and whatnot, of being the leader, just being a little bit louder. He can be that FU on the ice. When you see your best guy, who's also Quinn Hughes' right-hand man or left-hand man on the power play, you just see the offensive dynamo that JT Miller also participating, in like the physicality and the backing up of Quinn Hughes to the point where he's able to get to the point where he wants to risk his life against Tom Wilson while playing with one neck. Because let's be honest, JT Miller's playing with one neck right now, if you know what I'm saying. Like, something's going on there. Who knows what this injury is? All that being said, I'm just going to support that guy right now and hope that he can return ASAP to being one of the best players in hockey. And again, in recent history, Trevor, in the last 2 games, you got to stack up dubs. Dude, he's been pretty good.
He has been really good over the past couple of games, right? Like the Montreal game, 4 points. I thought he was, you know, at least emotionally involved, right? And I think, what was the discourse in this market a week ago? Fans are saying like, JT Miller doesn't care. He doesn't care to play for this team anymore. Like, what a bunch of BS, man. And I think you and I talked about him laboring. You and I never said like, he doesn't look like he cares out there. Because come on, it's JT Miller. I don't think he knows how to play without care, right? Kyle, you even said coming into the season that like JT Miller, you know, maybe he's going to be at 85%, not pushing 100 points. He's going to save it for the playoffs. I don't think that's in JT Miller's DNA. It might be in his DNA if he's hurt, but it's not in his DNA just to not go 100% all the time. And I think that's why we've seen him be one of the best forwards in the NHL over the past 5.5 seasons here, right? Because he's that guy, he's that dog, and he's got it in him. And again, like, maybe we'll talk about it a bit more on the other side, but, you know, just so much trade talk right now, so many BS trade rumors. I gotta call the media on the other side too. Because it's like
you are the
after
media.
going to
You
bed-
are the media, Trevor.
I
You
don't
are the
care. I'm
media.
part-time. I'm part-time. It's different, man.
No, you're part-time media, full-time fan, bro. You should like, yo, that's your thing right there. Hey, my name's Trevor Beggs, and I'm part-time media, full-time fan.
Full-time fan.
Um,
Yes.
and I approve of that message, bro. Somebody in the yo, can I get to one combo before we get to break though? Come on, this is something. It came from Kempner. Okay, oh, there you go. Hey, this ain't a political program, Kempner. Okay, you got to keep your politics out. Hey, I always say, man, this is the better Trevor on YouTube. Okay, Kempner Canucks, but right now he's saying JT Miller for Prime Minister, and man, yo, Kempner, be careful, yo. It's a family program, all right? Come on, man. Let's read books and just calm. Okay, Trevor, let's get to break before we get into trouble. Okay.
All right, let's get to break on the other side, and I do want to talk about again just some of the discourse coming out of this market after the Canucks put up one of their best performances of the season. I do want to get to the trades proposed between the Rangers and the Canucks from some insiders as well. We'll get to that on the other side. Let's maybe get to a little bit of prospect talk as well, because Phil Proink down in Abbotsford, the defense still not great. So let's talk about maybe some of the Canucks prospects as well. You listen to Locked On Canucks, your Canucks every damn day. We'll be back on the other side after shouting at our friends over at Find Out on the Other Side. All right. Today's episode is brought to you by Gametime, baby. Okay, if you're buying tickets, the only place to go find tickets is on Gametime. Okay, because they got that lowest price guarantee, baby. They got your back, and you know what they say: if I scratch your back, you'll scratch mine, right? Gametime, man. They scratch my back. They might even scratch a little bit more, because the Gametime, they got this new feature called Gametime Picks. And this feature filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. And Kyle's going to look up tickets for the Green Bay Packers to play a home playoff. Oh, wait. They're on the road. Tough one, Kyle.
Dude, I don't know. Why are you talking shit when your team is at home? In their own homes, like actually with their families right now, and not like at the practice facility. Because, okay, you just got to shut up, right?
I'm bitter, bro. I'm bitter. That's why. And, maybe Kyle, you gotta, get that locked on money. Go see the Packers in the Super Bowl in 2035. All right, Kate, take the guess. We're going to buy tickets with Gametime. Go download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Download Gametime today. What time is it? Remember, Kyle, it was 16-0. Gametime.
People, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks. My name is Kyle Bowen. That right there is the second best dad in the world. Trevor Beggs, man. Yo, Beggsy, I never ask you how you're doing anymore. This is what happens, when I'm not the best version of myself, not reading books, not going out for walks, talking to my girlfriend, like, come on. I get a little angry. Then the Canucks are not winning. Dude, I just been treating this like a partnership and not a friendship. So I want to apologize, Beggsy. I don't ask you this enough. How's it going?
Man, you asked me how I'm doing after I was chirping your Green Bay Packers, eh? That's
because come on. Again, I ain't toxic, man. It is what it is. I'm emotional though, but hey, I'm a human being. It is what it is. Again, though, how's it going?
Yeah, like honestly, I'm doing good. I feel like our relationship's in a tough spot right now, Kyle.
It is.
Honestly,
it is
because it's become all about the business, right? The Vancouver Canucks aren't winning games, and I think it's aged you a bit, bro. It's aged you a bit.
Oh, now you're calling me ugly. Now you're calling me ugly, Trevor. Okay, you don't got to do this as the darkest guy.
Beauty becomes before age. Age becomes before beauty. I think it's beauty becomes before age. So there you go.
Damn, bro. I thought it was like you age like fine red wine or whatever. Well, where are we going with this? Okay, Kyle Bound, Trevor Beggs. Dude, sometimes I feel as if I need to wake up in the morning at 7:30. And again, I'm so addicted to my phone. The first thing I do is hop on the Canucks Twitter. I don't text my mom or dad, good morning, have a great day. I don't text my girl that until like 9:30. I'm literally on Canucks Twitter the first thing every morning. And like I said, sometimes I feel like I need a bottle of wine right next to me because I get pissed off. I don't want to start my day with anger and this blasphemy and this like this toxicity online. Again, I'm not talking about the fans. I'm talking about the media members in the East that, again, they go to sleep at 10 o'clock. They are not watching. They're not watching Canucks games because some of the trade proposals for JT Miller or Elias Pettersson are just sad, yo. That it's It's, like, in fantasy football, when somebody tries, to getting like all these amateur GMs try to get a one up on you by trying to acquire one of your stars by giving you depth. Like, it's that bad. It's amateur like. And again, some of these reporters on the East Coast, you guys got to give your heads a shake, right now.
Well, there's the reporters on the East Coast, but there's also the reporters in Vancouver too, man. And I don't want to call media brother in here, but let me just, I'm going to try to pull this up, man, because some of the headlines that came out today about the Vancouver Canucks, just like, again, pretty negative for a team that, again, put forth a pretty good effort against the Washington Capitals, Again, they outshot the second best team in the league, 26-7 through a couple periods there yesterday, Kyle. So it was a good performance. But then here's some of the headlines coming out today. I'm going to try to pull it up. So one of them was about 4 landing spots for Elias Pettersson, okay? Come on, you're talking about trading the guy right after a loss, man. I don't know, unbelievable.
No, that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. But again, like we're no, that's gonna happen. It is what it is. It's still noise, right? And like Trevor, you said it right. The price of green peppers at an all-time high. The media, some guys live off the clicks. It is what it is. They got to feed their family with the clicks, and this should be old news for us. You know what I'm saying? This should be old news for us at this point. It's new for other people, but I feel like we're in week 27 of this. But anyways, 4 potential landing spots. Get to it, okay? Well, what did Sportsnet say?
I didn't even click on it, man. Come on, are you kidding me? Like, I want, like, my Canucks just played a good game, and then here's the news I see: 4 potential landing spots for Pettersson. More about Boudreau, talking about Miller and Pettersson. That happened 2 weeks ago. And then after again, a decent effort against the Capitals, you have from the Hockey News, the time has come for Albion to shake up the roster.
Oh my God, man.
The toxicity, Kyle. It's not just you and me on the show, man. It's not just
but we started it.
Fractured by the Canucks. It's Canucks media in general, man. And I look at the article from The Athletic today as well. So Arthur Staple and Thomas Durant's talked about if Vancouver, the Rangers, were to make a trade for JT Miller, what does it look like? And to be honest, I'm not sure if I like either one of them, but let me read both trades to you. Let's go with Thomas Durant said a trade could be Miller and Höglander for Philip Hedl, Braden Schneider, Brendan Othman, and a 2025 third-round pick. Arthur Staple, and this one might make you laugh. Arthur Staple said his best offer would be just JT Miller and Connor Garland for Mika Zibanejad and Alexis Lafreniere. And that one gave me a good laugh, man. That one gave me a good laugh. And again, Vancouver, you played well last night. Start winning some damn hockey games. So we don't have to talk about this anymore.
Yeah, I know. But, we've done the whole trade simulator type thing too. Just I think it's just one of those. It's a drug, man. Come on, the Canucks are a drug. Sometimes the drug sits well. Sometimes you just you pair that up with a glass of 5. What's that scotch called? 5 wins in your last 17, right? No, yeah. Straight up, you can get a little wild, and those things happen. But yeah, JT Miller defending Quinn Hughes, playing through an injury again. I don't know many athletes out there that can play with one neck. Like, he's doing that right now, and he's in severe pain. And it's not the time. It's not the time. Yeah. Again, this guy backed up Quinn Hughes. And Trevor, you know this too. He would back up Elias Pettersson on the ice as well. You know it. More so than 99% of the roster, because JT Miller's that guy. That FU, that attitude. And that's why he's so coveted. And, bro, again, normally I'm like, yo, stay in the moment. But can somebody like all these people that out there, okay, take it from me. I'm reading books. I'm talking to my girlfriend. I'm going for walks. I'm breathing a little. I'm getting I'm feeling like myself. Optimistic, and I'm taking a hit of the past a little. And JT Miller, not that long ago, was that guy, because he's been that guy for years and years and years and years. And again, in the last 2 games, I'm seeing some signs of this lasting. Like, JT Miller's done it in his career before, where he's been one of the best players in hockey during a 40-game span, right? Like, just being so consistent, so dominant. Let's see that start right now. And if that happens, the Canucks are going to win more games. And Trevor, I don't know if you got the numbers in front of you. And again, you can say what you want, but I hope that you can find that number, because it means a lot. I wonder where the Canucks rank in the NHL when it comes to regulation losses.
I can probably pull that pretty quick to you. And I saw that in the comments as well, right? 12 regulation losses down 40 games, but the glass half empty is they've lost 22 of 40 games so far, right? So,
yeah, Trevor, don't be dark, okay? Okay.
Go ahead.
Keep it positive, baby, okay? Come on.
All right.
You got a family. I got a family too, okay?
if you solely want to look at regulation losses, and it's an interesting conversation because if the Canucks have managed to win, if they managed to win seven, if they were 7-3 in overtime instead of 3-7 or whatever it is, they would be tied with the Edmonton Oilers right now, right? So the Oilers have 12 regulation losses, just like the Canucks, but they're 25-12-3. The Canucks are 18-12-10. So same amount of games, same amount of regulation losses, but the Oilers have 7 more victories than the Canucks do, and the Canucks have 7 more regulation or overtime losses. But the Canucks are tied with the Oilers and Jets for the 5th fewest regulation losses in the league. The only teams with fewer regulation losses, and unfortunately for the Canucks, 2 of them are in the Pacific Division, are the Minnesota Wild with 11 regulation losses. The Kings and Capitals are tied with 10 regulation losses, and the Vegas Golden Knights lead the league with 9 regulation losses.
Yeah. And, again, what's the saying? Hindsight is 20/20, or what's it? Like the devil's in the details, or what's the other one? Again, one of these metaphors. Oh, no, to play devil's advocate. That's what I was trying to say there, okay? Great teams don't play a lot of overtime games. Like, not this many through, like, not, because the Canucks are breaking NHL records right now, like, not this many through 40 games. I know that, right? Good teams finish business in regulation. That's just science, right?
Well, look at last season. The Canucks were third or tied for second overall in the NHL last season with 44 regulation victories. All right, they were tied with the Carolina Hurricanes. Only the Winnipeg Jets had more regulation losses last season.
Trevor, man,
it's been a completely different story this year, man. It's hard. Have I gone negative on you again?
No.
With 14 regulation wins this year, that's just firmly in the middle of the pack of the league. It's tied with the Boston Bruins, the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Ottawa Senators, the Montreal Canadiens, the Detroit Red Wings. So it's just been a completely different story this season.
I like this, man. It sounds as if this has been a therapy session, the second segment of the show for both of us, just kind of working out the kinks and just working out the emotions. Because, I've been so emotional about the Vancouver Canucks. And after a loss, Trevor called it maybe the worst loss of the year or the worst loss of the year, one or the other. Here I am just thinking like, the Canucks are going to be one of the best teams in hockey over the next 42 games. And, I'm a spiritual guy, and I'll talk about this on the other side. I connected the dots. Everything's happening for a reason. And Trevor, wait till you hear what I got to say, okay? Because I'm going to blow your mind. I was about to say I'm going to blow your load, and then I realized, you know what? That's okay. Okay, let's just Trevor. Damn,
that's something else.
I forgot it was recording. I forgot. It was recording that.
You're messed up, man. Anyways, Locked On Canucks, your Canucks every day. On the other side, I do want to talk about call-up options for the Canucks moving forward here. A little dive into the farm, and let's get to some of your comments as well. Seen some good ones trickle in here. Speaking of blowing loads and trickling, you're listening to Locked On Canucks, baby. We'll be back on the other side. All right, Locked On Canucks today is brought to you by FanDuel, baby. And the Canucks if you're believing in the Canucks to turn this around, okay, they are going to be underdogs against the Carolina Hurricanes on Friday night, the Toronto Maple Leafs on Saturday night, and the Winnipeg Jets on Tuesday night, and probably for the Kings and Oilers after that. The Canucks, they're the dogs right now. So if you're believing in the Canucks to bring home the bacon, baby, make sure you go place that bet on FanDuel, because new customers right now can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. That's $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. The FanDuel app gives you everything you need for live bets, same game parlays, and so much more. Another good bet to make, Quinn Hughes winning the Hart, plus 10,000. I like it. Visit FanDuel.com to join today.
Plus 10,000 for Quinn Hughes to win the Hart right now.
Plus 10,000.
Everyone, honestly, don't take your girl out for dinner. Don't get your daughter that gift you want to get. No, honestly, just put $20 in a card and pass it along. Because save that money and put it on Quinn Hughes. You know how they talk about Bitcoin changing your life? This is it. That Quinn Hughes is Bitcoin right now.
I'm telling you, this guy is, as long as he stays healthy, knock on wood, he's getting the job done for the Vancouver Canucks. Whatever you're betting on, make sure you go place that bet on FanDuel.com.
People, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks. My name is Kyle Bowen. That right there is the second best dad in the world. Speaking of which, one love to my dad. Again, I haven't spoke to him today yet, but I consumed all these trade rumors, dude. That's why I'm toxic. Dude, that's why I'm toxic. Like at times, you are what you eat. You are what you consume. You know what I'm saying? So I got to change my ways and spend less time with the pessimistic angle with the Vancouver Canucks, right? And more with optimism, because why not? Speaking of which, Trevor, you want to hear my my theory on how it's all written for us already? It's out of our control. Don't worry, the Canucks will be all right. Okay, what are the chances that the Canucks start the second half of the season 2 games from now in Toronto? Right, the mecca of the hockey world, quote unquote, whatever that means. Okay, with all this noise, because let's be honest, in recent NHL history, there has not been this much noise about a Canadian team or just any team, or especially in this style, in a very long time. Because you're talking about trading 2 90 to 100 point centers again on a team that was second in the league last year in regulation wins and took Edmonton in Game 7. 14 days later, they're both getting traded. Like what? Now they're playing in Toronto to start the second half of the season after a mediocre start. This is written, okay, for real, for a lot of things to happen, including 2 straight wins, starting in Carolina, then again with a bit of an emphasis in Toronto. And I feel as if because of it, the season is going to turn. You talk about moments, you talk about experiences too. I just think that all of us, players included, are about to go through it this weekend, and it makes the most sense in the world to start right now in the second half of the season. Go Canucks, go! We will be all right, and give credit where credit is due. The Canucks have gone through a lot, and we're in a playoff spot in the second year of being good. 40 games into the season. Okay.
Unbelievable. Hey, keep it going. Okay. He's taking the shirt off. Oh, there we go. Unbelievable, Kyle. You know, I honestly, like, last night could have been a turning point, and we're obviously not going to find out until the Carolina game, but it just looked like a completely different Canucks team. The Canucks have not outshot an opposition by 10 shots. It feels like all season long. Like, you certainly have to comb back into the game logs from October and November. There just hasn't been many nights where they've outplayed the opponent to the level at which they outplayed the Washington Capitals last night. Like, you're talking about games going again, I don't know, like the Anaheim Ducks or the San Jose Sharks. Like, they hadn't played like that against a good team, in my opinion, all season long. So I think, again, you know, to temper the optimism, they got to keep it going. They got a tough stretch ahead, but they could really change the trajectory of their season. Alex Burrows against the Carolina Hurricanes, shorthanded goal style, which happened in January. It might even been January 8th. The similar thing could have happened. There wasn't quite that moment in Washington, but that moment could be coming for your Vancouver Canucks here.
Straight up. It can. And maybe one of their learning lessons off a loss, because that's where you learn your lessons, according to Rick Tocchet, is sticking with the truth and being resilient even in an undeserving result. Because this could be a very sensitive team right now, and an inexperienced core. And I'm talking about like Besser and Hughes and company, right? When it comes to like dealing with having a successful season and like dealing with having to win now and going through again what an emotional roller coaster has already been. There's a case where a team like that loses like they did yesterday and don't look at the truth, and they can't rebound, and they let it dictate them. Whereas I hope the Canucks, and you saw this from Quinn Hughes yesterday after the game. We didn't hear from Elias Patterson. He didn't play yet, but we heard it from Quinn Hughes, and he seemed like the team won yesterday. Like the way he was talking, he sounded as if the Canucks, like, that was a great game. That was exactly what we needed. Because it's still early enough for it not to be about the results, especially because the Canucks aren't like 9 points out of a playoff spot, right? So again, like, he doesn't have to worry so much about the results, but the over process if that's the game you're coming off. Because again, the Canucks played really good yesterday, and they're still missing pieces. Oh, maybe Trevor.
They're in a good spot overall. The Vancouver Canucks are now. I'm lagging. Okay, there we go. We figured it out. No, I like the optimism here. Again, for a team that's won 4 of the past 15 games, 5 of the last 17 games, things could be turning in the right direction for the Canucks. And Quinn Hughes did sound very optimistic after last night. A couple quick notes before we get out of here. I just want to mention defensemen quickly. Okay, the defense has been a bit of a work in progress in Vancouver. Eric Brancham should be playing. He hasn't been playing. But a couple guys down in the AHL who are worth noting right now, of course, DPD, Elias Pettersson, gets named as an AHL All-Star, playing top line minutes in Abbotsford, playing on the penalty kill. I do wonder. I don't think he's going to play NHL games this season. I don't mind slow cooking the guy, but you got to wonder with the struggles on the defense if he does become an option. At the very least, he's looked like he's on the trajectory for the NHL. And same with Kirill Kudryavtsev, 7th-round pick in 2022. He's a dark sleeper who has been killing it for the Abbotsford Canucks down there. And then finally, Cole McWard on the right side. Not as physical as Myers, Desharnais, and Juleson, but a bit more poised with the puck. I do wonder if he gets a look at some point as well for your Vancouver Canucks if the defense continues to struggle. But more than anything, this team needs Phil Pronig back, but I just want to shout out some of the young guys who are doing some good work in Abbotsford this season on defense.
Wow. Beautiful, man. Thank you. Thank you for that little update. And for all those guys, I feel as if this is not the season for them to even experiment with bringing them up with the Canucks, okay? Because, like, the base level of their defense it's not a safe place. Like, you want to talk about a toxic environment? Again, just based on how they've been playing. I know in recent, yesterday they played really good, but I would not want to bring a guy like Pettersson up yet because I feel like he could quickly turn into, like, a Noah Juleson and confidence. You know what I'm saying? Confidence. And in the preseason, I feel as if he's, like, he was still so far off. He was still, like, clearly a year away. Like, let him just have some fun down there and just be happy about his game the whole way through. I want to touch on the Branson thing before we get out of here. Trevor, I don't know how much time you have. If you can start some comments and we'll quickly run by them at the end, but I'll try to keep this Branson thing short. But okay, the second half of the season is starting, and I feel as if Tocchet, I hope the ego just lessens a bit when it comes to him wanting to be right about a certain couple guys on the team, because it's quite clear that we've possibly given up some points because Eric Branson is not in the lineup. And I know that sounds so crazy, but this team's inability to have any puck moving in their back end is just borderline so annoying, and also so what's the word on ludicrous. It's idiotic. And yesterday, okay, everyone's complaining about Quinn Hughes taking the minor and him having to sit in the box for 6 minutes, and the Canucks having a 4-minute power play and never getting Quinn on the ice because, again, he's in the box, and never icing the puck or stopping the clock so they could get Quinn Hughes on, blah, blah, blah. I get it because logically, like, okay, you should do that. But these guys are competitors, okay? They're not going to make a give up play just to get – I know it sounds stupid, but I can't see these guys doing that. They're not like the core – they're not going to do that. At the same time, though, what if you had Branstrom in the lineup? You know what I'm saying? So, like, having another guy like that when all the other guys clearly can't even come close to doing that is so important, because Quinn Hughes could take a minor. He could get hurt in a game, or he could, miss some time, for 5 minutes in the game because, again, it's something like this or an injury. Dude, you need some of that. And now you look at overtime, too. What happens? Tyler Myers happens. When you need a goal, you need some offense. It's like you can't go into NHL games only having one of those guys in your team. You're going to lose more often than not. And the Canucks have lost 5 of their last 17 games. And I know Branson's part of that equation too, but I just think enough is enough, man. Enough is enough. Forbert, Desharnais, and Juleson don't all have to be in the lineup at the same time, especially if neither of those guys are willing to beat Tom Wilson up or try to after they went after Quinn Hughes. Enough said.
I get kind of frustrated with this whole, got to have lefties on their left side, got to have righties on their right side thing. It is more advantageous in the defensive zone. I understand that, but it shouldn't be the be all or end all, especially when, come on, put Hughes on his offside, put Branson on his offside, Soucy's put on his offside. I mean, this whole thing, I think the coach's mentality is you got to have guys on their left side, and Hughes is obviously there. Soucy, I guess, is a top 4 guy for this team, whether you like it or not. And Derek Forbert's been injured, so they want him to get games, but man, oh man, you just got to find a way to get Brancham in the lineup. I mean, look how many the Canucks have had, 40%, 35% of the games go to overtime this season. And to just have Quinn Hughes be your only option there, especially with Philip Pronig gone over the past month and a half, you just need a guy like Brancham in the lineup. And he's better than most of the defensemen on this team. And he's not, anything special. He's not a guy deserving of $5 million, but he's maybe the 3rd best defenseman on this team right now.
just have another option who can move the puck. Again, like, it's that simple. Like, no NHL team that, like, I don't know, like, wants to be contending and whatnot, or just, capitalizing on Quinn Hughes' like, contract years. You got to have one other guy in the back end that can move the puck. At least one, not just one. That's just weird. It's so backwards, man, because other guys can't do it. And, like, I think if Susie was playing better, then this may have a better chance of working. But this guy has the yips too. I know he protected the game at the end of the game, but with the puck right now, Carson Soucy he's got the yips. And Trevor, this whole, like, oh, you gotta have right-handed defense. You got the premium on right-handed defensemen. You got to make sure you got those guys in the lineup. Yo, my grandmother told me this way back in the day when we started watching the game together. Okay, she's like, son or grandson, it's not about having right-handed defensemen. It's about having the right defenseman. Thanks, Grandma.
There you go. Grandma Bowen. She's coming through in the clutch. Our commenters also coming through in the clutch. I'll get to a couple comments and wrap up the show here on Locked On Canucks. Man, that's a crazy stat pull from Mike Laval. So I got to bring it up, and we'll have to see if it's how accurate it is. But there's 306 players in the Hall of Fame, and only 24 of them have never won a Stanley Cup.
I like
Two
it.
of them being Henrik and Daniel
Oh.
Steen. Unbelievable. Want to get to this comment from Lefty All Around. JT can mentor Lecker Mackey. Lecker Mackey mentioned, I think, in an intermission interview in the Habs game on Monday that JT Miller talks a lot on the bench and makes it easier for him on the ice. JT Miller talks a lot in general, man, but I think that's good for a guy like Lecker Mackey. They'll look at it over the past couple of games.
Trevor, can you repeat that sentence again? Like, from the top, though. Like, you didn't even lag. Let's just put that out in the universe, okay, right now. Because Lecker Mackey's looked good in the last 2 games. And, like, who's helping him out? Not his best friend from home. Who is it?
It's JT Miller.
Unreal, man. Unreal. Look at this comment from Kepner, man, saying Grandma Bowen is a very smart lady. Hey, one love to Aji, man. One love to Aji. And Lecker Mackey, same thing, man. I'm proud of him right now. Again, I'm a details guy, Trevor, okay? Okay, Lecker Mackey yesterday, he's playing the whole game. Like, I feel like they didn't shelter him, especially in the end of the game. Like, he was still playing there, right? And it was a physical game. That was top 5 most physical game of the year. That felt like a playoff game. It really did. And Tom Wilson is the guy on the other team, okay? And there was a play in the neutral zone where Lecker Mackey had the puck at the end of his shift, and this guy made sure he had control of the puck, got across the red line. He was willing to take a hit from Tom Wilson to get the puck in deep. And I know that's, like, me maybe over-exaggerating or maybe being very, very optimistic. No, that's Jonathan Lecker Mackey doing that a couple days after he got crushed by Gooley, like, absolutely destroyed. Lecker Mackey's a man. Like, this is his first year playing in North America, and he's showing that he's got the balls. That's good. That's maybe it's because of JT Miller, man. Father figure, right? Daddy Miller. Hey, Bagsy, sign us up.
There we go. Shout out to everyone from the everydayers to the first-time listeners and everyone in between here. We appreciate the hell out of you for tuning into Locked On Canucks. If you like what we're doing, go subscribe and like this on YouTube on the podcast side. Oh, baby, go follow us and leave a 5-star review and maybe even buy a shirt while you're at it, okay? Not associated with Locked On, but we got some shirts for sale. My kids are all rocking the F the Oilers shirts. Kyle, what are you rocking there? Show the camera quickly before we get out of here. What's that, buddy?
Trevor, we're not allowed to sell sex on this program, okay? Sex doesn't sell all the time. I'm not going to do that, okay? Kids are watching, okay, Trevor? This is the West Coast Bias t-shirt. Join the Discord. Learn more about it. Let's go.
All right. And on that note, you've been listening to Locked On Canucks.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.